Welcome guys to another midweek episode with just Van in it. Now we get asked this a lot, is and are you happy with the 79 Cruiser for touring? So what I thought I'd do is I'd do a midweek video and I'm going to try and explain to you what we've done to this car behind me to get it to do what we want. Now this is only our opinion, so let's jump into it. I've picked a good day out on the beach. I hope the wind's not too bad, and we're going to go through the car with you. It's only me. Sue's at work and Sue thought, well, this is a video for me to do, so bear with me. It's on a tripod. I'm going to try and do everything. I'm going to try and answer all the questions. We're going to go through the ute, the canopy, and we'll give you a final verdict at the end of this video. So let's jump into it. Right, before we jump into it guys, just want to let you know this is we'll start by saying this is a 2017 model 79 dual cab cruiser. We did order a brand new 76. Things changed. I got to see one, I got to drive one, and I was looking for the canopy to suit our needs a bit more. This one popped up, we cancelled the 76 and I bought this pretty much as you see it. The canopy was empty. It had, when I bought it, it had the ALB bull bar on the front. It had heavy duty clutch and tune done. It had the roof console in already. It had a UHF. It had Old Man Emu suspension with GVM upgrade already done to it. It had the 6 standard GXL rims and tyres with the car. And I think that's pretty much it when I bought it. What we've changed, we're going to start by going through it and I'll let you know as I go along what we've changed to help improve it to be our touring vehicle. I'm trying to stay this side of the car for the wind. I don't want to do this in the caravan because we want to see the base, don't we? So up the front, like I said, the ALB bull bar was on it. I added a 15,000 pound carbon winch. It's the Scout one, so it's got a bigger motor and it's got a faster motor. Not that I'm in a rush, I just thought I got it at a really good price, so we did the 15,000 Scout almost at the same price as the 12,000. It was at a show special. Grabbed that, stuck that on the front, changed the UHF out, and I put my GME XRS, I think it's the 30, into the car. So we got the short GME aerial up the front. It come already with the spotties on the bumper of the bull bar. I forgot to mention that. I've also put a recovery point on, and I've also put the bash plate on the front. That was for the Cape trip especially, but obviously it's on the car now. I'm going to leave it there, and I think that's for the best. We also added the Ocam 4-wheel 4x4 pull-out towing mirrors. To be honest, that's all I could get my hands on at the time because of COVID. I wanted the clear views, but the new ones actually, they just didn't have stock, and we were quite under the pump for time to get back on the road. As you've noted, it come with the tinted windows. That's obviously been removed because we got defected for it. A lot of people saying that I should have actually only taken the front off because the rear you're allowed to have, I think, 20%. We decided to take it all off for now. We've also been driving it around without the tint on, and I tell you what, we got to get some tint back on, and we'll do it legally at 35% this time. Roof rack, that is a cheap roof rack I found off a marketplace when I was in Victoria. I've added that on. The idea behind that was to put a slide out solar panel on the top because it'll clear the boat, so that way I could try and add a solar panel when we have the boat on. That hasn't taken place just yet. Why? Cha-ching! Money! It come with a 2-inch lift, so I was happy with that with a GVM upgrade. So it's got the Old Man Emu shocks and springs in here, not the BP51s, just your standard shock. We also changed, we got a set of the rims and tyres on a kit from a guy in Perth. They are the Torque rims. Don't know, was a good price, so I grabbed them. I paid $3,000 for 5 rims and tyres. They had Federals on them. We're on now our second set of tyres. I'm going to move this camera a bit because I can see the wind is absolutely destroying it. Don't know, I'm trying to get away from it. So we changed the, where was I? I've changed the tyres. We've done 50,000 on the Federals. They were down, turfed them, put on a set of Maxis, Razor Mud Terrains 33s on here. So far we left Melbourne with them on, so, and I must say they're quite a nice tyre. They're not that loud for a mud tyre. We don't have any fancy sound deadening in the car at all. We'll get into the interior after we've done the outside. Now, I've added airbags to the rear of the suspension, so we can it tends to want to sag. Yeah, we've added the airbags on just to get the ride height right. Also, what we did when we first started towing with it, it towed like a dog, and I've put an anti-sway bar on the back, and I've put another leaf, or 1 or 2 leaves. I can't remember. I think it was 1 leaf in the pack. So we got about, I think it's an 850 load pack now in the rear of this car because of the weight. If you want to talk about weights, this car with my self-suit full tank, the way it's set up now, comes in just on about 3,450, and the GVM is 3,780. That gives me the room for that ball weight from the caravan to go onto the car, and it's got a standard GCM of 6.8, and we come just on 6.8. So our setup is, yeah, it's looking pretty good. And that's full of water in the caravan. That's the exterior. We've done nothing fancy on the hitch. Oh, another thing we've added is 2 65-litre water tanks underneath of the Canopy. I do not travel with them full of water at all. The reason being, number 1, weight. Number 2, it does tend to flex the chassis a little bit, and yeah, it's not right. And that's 2 65-litre tanks. It's 130 litres, so 130 kilos. That blows me out. So those are used for when we're staying in a place, a free camp for more than, I say, 3 days. We're running a bit low on water. I take the dump point, and if there's water, I'll grab some water into the tanks, which has got a little plumbed inline pump, and get back to camp, and then I take the water out of there and I put it into the caravan. That's why we got those tanks. I do not travel with them full at all. I'm just trying to think as we go along. This other side's the same, and the other side of the wind is blowing. Like, I can see the wind already. It's hitting the microphone. Sorry, I'm really struggling here. I know you. There you go. Hopefully that's a bit better. Outside is pretty much, that's it. The canopy. So this canopy was bare, and myself and Sue basically built this canopy out ourselves. Nothing fancy. We've got an 80-litre upright Dometic fridge. We started off with a travel buddy. We changed that out to a air fryer. That works pretty well. We really enjoy having that. Pull out little kitchen table, pull out drawer with induction cooktop, which is movable. So that's pretty cool. And then also Dun & Watson pull out pantry. I don't know, we tend to not use this too much, but it's there. It's pretty long, comes out. I've got a few lures up there, and put some like biscuits and stuff, and if you want to leave the van somewhere, you got the option to do that. Then, well, the major idea is to put the outboard over here. But this canopy that came with it, we don't know the brand of it, unfortunately. I asked the owners, they don't know it. Is that the outboard didn't fit this way, and for weight I'm actually kind of glad that it didn't, because you can see, I don't know if you can see, but this hangs over the back of the axle, and we'll get into that a bit later, but it didn't fit, so I'm stuck with this little bit of space here. We put the ladder that I use to get on top of the caravan to wash the solar panels, and if we need a ladder, it's quite handy to have. It's not the very long one, it's quite a short one. Here, this is where the travel buddy used to sit. That's just become a bit of storage, as you can see. Running a Cimarron screen, inverter, we'll show you on the other side, iTech, and some USB. These are actually not fitted. My little panels actually come loose, because I made it. Got a nice little light outside, white and orange for the Mozzies. Great, this canopy's got like these bars that run across it. We hang some towels and stuff off that, so it's pretty cool. Jump around the other side. I hope the wind is not going to be too much for us, but let's give it a go, eh? I had to turn the car around. I hope that the wind is not messing up our video here, but anyway, this is the other side. This is pretty much storage for us. We keep a fire pit, my charge station, some chairs that we use if in case we come down to this. I mean, we're at a beautiful beach here. I reckon we're coming down here for dinner tonight because it's just a great location. I keep my fishing rods from this. I get asked a lot about these. These are from BCF. They a Rapala rod holder sort of for a wall, but I've just hung it upside down, and that actually keeps my rods nice and safe and out of the way so they don't get broken. We're running a J Flex 10 meter reel for the air. I really like that idea. So it's retractable, so I can pull it around. It reaches my front tires and it reaches the caravan tires, which is what we want. So I don't need to carry and keep a hose in a drawer or anything. It just rolls up over there, which I really like. Fishing bag, chainsaw, and bits and pieces. So as you can see, there's a lot of room here still, but like we say, we try to keep our weights on par. Running a TJM Pro Series dual compressor, which is a new addition to our trip, with a 5 litre tank that TJM do so I can actually use a blower. It's quite nice, like when you're on the beach or something, you can actually blow out your canopy around the caravan as well, if however far the hose can get. I think that's quite cool. Also, you're pumping up 8 tires. I've got 33s on the car, and I've got I think it's 16s on the van. You want to try and do that at a rather quick pace instead of hanging around. I did have a single ARB compressor. I think I was asking too much of it. It's just, I had it when we left from my previous cars, and I said to Sue, well, we'll put it in the forward actually, and it finally cacked us when we come off Cape, and I tried to pump all 8 tires up. It just absolutely melted in the inside. That's okay. Power system. So here we go, guys. Power system. It's nothing special. It does the job. We got an Enerdrive AC 40 amp charger linked to a DC 40 amp Enerdrive DC charger. That all goes through the shunt up the top there that reads into the Cimarron screen, which I constantly have drama with. It always goes offline. Don't know why. If you're an Enerdrive genius, please drop a comment, because I have no idea why it does it. I've changed the data cable out and it's so out of whack. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. We got a Artec 2000 watt inverter. That's the perfect size. It runs it can run the induction cooktop, and it can also run the air fryer, not together, because obviously we would go more than 2000 watt. But myself and Sue have been using this sort of setup now for, I don't know how long we've had the car, 1.5 years, and we sort of get away with jumping between the two. It's just a magic spot where we are. I just can't keep looking over there. 2 Artec 120 lithium batteries in the back, so it gives us a 240 amps of lithium, which is perfect to run our fridge and air fryer and induction cooktop. So great work. I did not install that myself. I did buy all the pieces, and the guys at Battery World in Gawler actually installed that for me, and I paid them to install it, and they supplied all the wiring. So that's it. I've added a few little things on. That's why a little bit messy, but yeah, guys, we love this setup. It's just simple, and except for the Cimarron screen not working, it's been doing that for now about 1 year. So it tells you it can be 80%, and you wake up and you think it's 80% and your batteries have turned off. I don't know why. I see the shunty's flashing green now, so it's telling me that's generally online, but it keeps going offline. And I've called Enerdrive. No one can see. We've gone through the settings, we've changed the settings, and it still keeps doing it. So no idea why. Anyway, doesn't matter. We're not going to blabber along that too much. But also on the back, got the spare wheel. We've only got one wheel because of weight, and boat load on top, which we've already done a video on, and we carried the bin bag on the back. So jump around here. Right, let's hop inside for a quick little tour. Nothing too much is happening inside. That's the roof console that the Cruiser came with. We've added the center console, which is quite nice. Sue jumped in the first day we got it, and she was like, "Where am I supposed to put my coffee?" So we went to the first shop we actually went to with the Cruiser was to upgrade the head unit, and I don't know why, but they had this in stock, and they said we could have it. So half an hour installation got us the center console. and the head unit is inside there. We have done an audio upgrade to the Cruiser, because if you don't know, they come with some terrible speakers. So up on the other side, we have the door pods. Focus. And we went with a full Rockford Fosgate. I don't know, just as a kid, I've always loved Rockford Fosgate. Rockford amp, Rockford 10-inch sub, box, and some mid-tweeters up the front. And that all runs obviously into the amplifier, which then goes into there, and so much better. We do spend a lot of time in the car, so we thought it was money well spent. New addition. Look at this. Went into AIB in Port Lincoln, and they had these in stock. Thanks to Jason for eyeing them out for me, and I thought, why not, because it is a little bit uncomfortable driving with it on top of the door. And I will say, we've been driving for a few days, and how much more comfortable that is. I forgot to also mention, it did come, the Cruiser, when we bought it, had the Tow Pro, Red Hawk Tow Pro Elite in it. So that's not, we didn't add that, but that was fine. I would have put one in anyway. And yes, we do have a throttle controller. I use that for when going through town. It's not to save fuel, so I've got nothing to do with that. We're not trying to, we did not buy this to try and save fuel. This was just bought for pulling off uphills and traffic lights through town. We do have a tune, but I find it's not quite strong enough to pull off. So I put that in, and I'll drive that on Ultra 2 through town, and as soon as I'm on the motorway, turn it off. So that does really help. So we've done that. There's no insulation inside here. The car also came with MSA seat covers, both in the back. Bobby's got his at the back. And guys, no, like I said, no insulation. I don't think there's any more mods up the front. I'd love to be putting a PVS steering wheel on the front here and get rid of this 1995 Camry steering wheel. But anyway, money, money, money. Where do you stop? Let's jump straight into that while we're on the topic. I hope I've shown you the Cruiser and I haven't forgotten anything, but that is the touring rig as it stands at the moment. Now the biggest question is this a good touring vehicle? Would I buy another one? Should people buy it? Mate, that's entirely up to you. But what I will say to you, you can spend inundated amounts of money on these things to get them to tow well. I would still love to put, I would do next on this car, if I could afford it, I'd do a 300mm stretch. That way it takes that warpiness out of it, and it also stops the flex of the canopy, because we've got a lot of overhang at the back of the wheel. We do get a slight flex. I do think if we've done the cape and we've come back on those corrugations last year, nothing sort of bent and broken, we do get the bit of flex, but yeah, it hasn't done anything to the car, so I don't think I can do any more, and I don't want to damage it. So I would do the 300mm extension, and if I could actually afford it, I'd do the coil conversion. Not because it gives me a bigger GCM and GVM, that would be great, but also for the ride. I mean, it is a farm truck, isn't it? Like, yeah, people ask us all the time, what's it like? I tell you what, we've done some very big days in this car. Like we drove from Townsville to Port Augusta, so that's across the top to three ways and straight down the middle over 4 or 5 days. We did some really long 10-11 hour days in this, and we would get up the next day, and we would be able to get back in the car and do another big day. But there's no upgraded seats in here. Yes, you can. Apparently, I've been told that, I think the 2017s upwards, they did change the seat style. They're still hard, but they're not uncomfortable that I can't drive it. I've gotten so used to it now anyway. Maybe I'll pay for it later in life, but so far so good. So that's not really a problem to us. Automatic to manual. What I think about that, I do still miss the automatic, but it is a Cruiser and I enjoy driving it. And because it has a bit of power in it, and I know that a lot of people are going to go, you know, Ford and that's got the same, or if not more power than these things do. I tend to not have to go lower than 4th or 5th when I'm towing, so I'm pretty happy with that. Why did we get a Cruiser? We get asked this a lot. I answered it in the questions last week. We broke down in the Ford. I wanted something more simple. Anyone can pretty much work on them. So when we go more rural, because that's where we broke down, and you know, normally things, I don't know, you break down when you're not close to anywhere, and finding parts and spares are really hard. So I was hoping that having the Cruiser, that eliminates that a little bit of some way. Yeah, so far we haven't broken down, so I can't tell you if we can get spares and stuff anywhere, but I'm pretty sure we can. So that's that. Look, fuel economy, I know it's pretty bad. I need to get it tuned, but I just don't have the money to get it tuned. I'm just being honest. We get I reckon at 28 litres to average. Bad day 40, good day 22. So sort of less badder days, like so when you hit a massive headwind or something like that, that'll generally just throw anything. But when we bought the car, diesel was only $1.35, I think it was in Adelaide a year and a half ago. So, you know, I didn't know it was going to get to, it's come down now, but $2.40 at average at one stage. But anyway, so that's that. I've covered that. Would I suggest buying one? It's a tough one. I think for the money you spend on these cars, and I wouldn't have done half the stuff if I didn't buy this car secondhand with some of the bigger stuff done to it. I don't know, like, they are pretty dear. I don't think I would to spend all that type of money on it to be able to just do what we want it to do. I think you can get away with a lot of other vehicles. You know, people are looking at those four-wheel drive Isuzu trucks now. You know, I saw a clip the other day with someone saying that, you know, he loves his Landcruisers and he actually bought the truck, did all the mods to the truck for less than what it was for the Cruiser. And then you've got a bigger GVM and GCM, I think, on the top of it. I haven't looked into it, so I can't really say. Yeah, guys, I hope I'm covering it. Like, at the end of the day, it's what you want to buy. And another thing, like, you know, to persuade Sue to buy this Cruiser was the resale value on it. We all know that they're ridiculous and people don't know why. I don't even know why. But I'm hoping that someday, you know, like when we finish traveling, if I don't need to keep it, I will not lose as much money on this as I would have buying a brand new Ford or Isuzu or whatever. I'm not trying to bag them out, but it's just that it's facts. I think they've actually stopped making these 79s completely now, with at least the V8. I don't know if they're making a V6 model yet. I haven't even looked into it. I just love driving it. That's my personal opinion. I don't think I'll get rid of it anytime soon unless some real bargain had to come up on a four-wheel drive Isuzu truck or something. Maybe I'll change it up for something different. I don't know. But I really enjoy driving the car. I don't think, you know, I would be happier anywhere else in anything else. But guys, yeah, I hope I've answered some questions about the Cruiser that we get asked a lot. And if there's anything more that you want to know about it, please drop it in the comments below. Don't be scared to ask, or PM us on Facebook, on Instagram, and we can try and answer those questions for you. But that's generally what we get asked about it. And yeah, last things last, I love driving it. I love it. It tows my caravan well. After everything I've done to it, it does the job now, and that's what you want. That's what you want from your tow vehicle, pretty much, is to do what you want it to do. So, you know, Cape York, all of that. We've got some big trips planned this year, hopefully. Hold thumbs. And I'm pretty sure that Landcruiser's not going to let us down. But thank you, guys. Sorry if I dribbled on too much. It's a beautiful day. The wind. It's just a breeze, but sometimes it comes up on the speaker worse off. I do have one of them dead cats on here, so hopefully that's helped us a lot today. But from myself, soon Bob, guys, thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate everyone's support, and I think we actually get quite humbled when we travel around Australia that people actually want to come up and say hi to us. But we love it. We love meeting people. So if you do see us, come up and say hi. Don't be shy. If we're busy, we'll let you know to come back a bit later. So for myself, soon Bob, guys, thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed this midweek video. We'll see you on Sunday with something special. See ya.